Uy, sino pa?
Okay, we will start at exactly 10 a.m. Saglit na meeting lang because I'll just brush up the topics for midterm and then give you some sample questions from midterm. I will also present to you the TOS or the table of specification for your midterm examination, type of test, sample questions. Yan. So saglit na meetings lang tayo. We'll start at 10 a.m. Kindly tell others to join po, all Porcom students in different sections.
Ma'am, di daw po maka-join si Jusel.
Okay, so let's start. So this is the last file I've sent in our GC. This is all about effective communication in the workplace. So basically, this is just about business and technical writing. This is still part, or the topic is still part of the midterm examination. But the output that is written at the bottom of this one will be submitted and will be part of the final terms na. Kasi tapos na tayo mag-compute ng midterm natin. So yung gagawin nyo dito, asan na yun? This one. Yun. So this will be your activity. So just have a recap of the topics here in this material, and then afterwards we'll have, I added midterm review, sample questions, but not the exact questions na nandun sa inyong midterm exam. Similar questions lang siya. Okay, let's start. So this one, lesson 7, ito yung material na yon. Effective communication in the workplace. So under business and technical writing, ang concept lang dito or ang ideas lang dito are the different materials used in business communication. Most likely all of the written documents like minutes of the meeting, the memos, mga reports, kung paano siya dapat isulat. So every institution or all of the entities, agencies, they have different templates. So magkakaiba naman ng template, magkakaiba ng format, but the content is the same. Pareho lang ng content. For example, sa minutes of the meeting, ano-ano ba yung dapat na lamanin ng minutes of the meeting? sa mga incident report, progress reports na ginagawa sa mga memos, ano ba yung laman. Pare-pareho lang yung content, yung mga dapat lamanin. Nagkakaiba-iba lang sila sa template kasi every entity has its own template na ginagamit. So dito sa material na sinend ko, nandito naman yung discussion and samples. So we also have here yung mga activities natin na mga 1 to 5, 1 to 10 na kailangan ninyong sagutan as part of your practice. So if you have your notebooks with you, kindly answer this in your notebook. Ngayon, kung wala sa inyo yung notebook nyo kasi iba nandito pa sa akin, write your answers in any clean paper and then attach it to your notebook pagka nasoli na yung notebook. So the first one we have here is the minutes of the meeting. So yung minutes of the meeting, before traditionally, ginagawa siya on the spot. So, yung naka-assign to do the minutes of the meeting, actual meeting, nagsusulat, nagte-take down notes. So, ngayon, bago tayo dumating sa naka-computer or naka-laptop na, aside from traditional handwriting, sumunod dyan yung voice recording. So, yung taong naka-assign sa minutes of the meeting, gumagamit ng voice recorder for her to record or for him to record the whole session of the meeting. And then afterwards, tinatranscribe lang yung recording and then kinukuha lang yung mga details na kailangang lamanin ng minutes of the meeting. So ngayon naman, we do it digitally, naka-typewritten or basically dala yung laptop or yung PC, then direct nang tina-type doon sa template kung ano man yung mga details. So for the minutes of the meeting, these are the important parts of the minutes of the meeting, yung details, date, time, the place of the meeting, sino yung mag-host ng meeting, sino yung mga attendees ng meeting, ano yung topic na kailangang pag-usapan or ma-discuss sa meetings, ano yung mga suggestions and actions needed to be taken after the meeting. Yun yung laman niya basically. And then, kailangan din siyang i-secure with signatures. Naka-attach din doon yung attendees, yung attendance sheet ng mga lahat ng dumalo. And then, yung signature ng nag-host ng meeting. Just to check the content nung minutes of the meeting kung tama ba, kung yun ba talaga yung nilalaman ng meeting. So that minutes of the meetings are compiled. Ginagamit din siyang references sa mga companies. So, nandito naman din yung guidelines. The next one, so we have here sample, actual sample of minutes of the meeting. Then, the next one, memo. So, sa memo, ganun din, different templates for different companies or institution. So, to give announcements, clarifications, instructions, yun kalimitan yung memo. And then, syempre, naka-include doon yung mismong instruction or announcement plus the basis and kung sino yung nagpapa-implement ng instruction or ng announcement. Next. So, meron siyang protocol. Syempre, before some policies or instructions, it should be ahead of time. Yung memo kailangan ahead of time. Hindi siya pwedeng late. Kasi nga announcement siya ng instructions, basically, or mostly announcements of instructions. Kaya dapat ahead of time siya bago pa implement or mag-take effect yung ina-announce. So meron tayong sample from our campus sa university natin. So ganyan lang ang template ng university natin. So ibang company, ibang institution, iba din yung template ng kanilang ng memo. Siyempre, nakakompile din yan and then meron din siyang assigned number for documents control. So, madaling i-retrieve yung memo dahil meron siyang code, meron siyang number. Now, for the incident report, ano yung dapat lamanin? Ito yung mga dapat lamanin ng incident report. Usually sa mga companies like manufacturer companies, ang kalimitang nagkakaroon ng incident reports are yung mga accident or mga petty accidents inside the companies, lalo kung may production ang company. So, kailangan mabilis din yung paggawa ng incident report. Meron lang siyang specific duration. For example, the accident happened today. So, dapat later today, meron na rin incident report. Kailangan siya, one of the requirements yan kapag ka may mga claims na involved dun sa mga accident na nangyari sa company. So, yung iba may mga prescribed template, kagaya ng sample natin. But, kung wala namang prescribed template, written incident report could be in any template or any form as long as the important details are in that report. Pwede siyang essay type with attachments of photos. Pwede siyang naka-bullet type na nandun yung mga details na kailangan. So wala namang prescribed. Depende sa institution or sa company na gagamit ng incident report. So this is one example of an actual incident report. So meron siya mga pictures, attachments. Kailangan siya sa mga incident report. Then the next one, progress report. So sa progress report, per department usually in companies, ginagawa ang progress report. Sa school, ginagawa din yan ng mga students kapag pinagagawa ng mga instructors or teachers sa progress report of a research or a project. Wait lang. So for the sample of progress report, it could be long. Pwedeng mahaba or makapal yung maging progress report kasi you should discuss what is the report all about? Ano ba yung project? Ano ba yung pinagagawa ng progress report? So, nandun yung background or yung introduction to give context to your progress report. And then, what are the actions completed? What are the actions to be completed? What are the challenges or problems encountered during the process of creating or doing the project or the program? Nandun siya lahat. And then, meron din siyang conclusion sa dulo. So, if you want to see sample of an actual progress report, I've attached here 2 examples. So, kung titignan natin tong example na to, medyo mahaba. Share natin. Meron pa isa. Okay, wait lang, hanapin ko yung sample. Okay. So, the first sample that I'm going to show you, sample siya from school. So, itong isa na to, maigsi lang. Yeah, so we have here the introduction. Kung mapapansin nyo, wala naman siyang specific template. Essay type lang siya with the heading. Pwedeng merong header dito ng company. So ano yung content? Same. Yung introduction or the context about the organization, the typical week, ano yung usual na ginagawa, and then yung date. Ano na yung mga nagawa at ginagawa, Monday, Tuesday. So, pwedeng ganito lang yung sample ng or ganito lang yung template ng progress report as long as the details needed to be seen are nandun sa inyong progress report. Another sample, this one is a sample of a construction monitoring or progress report. Yeah. So with complete attachments, images, the general information about the project, the data, the budget, and the details. Ano na nangyari doon sa ginagawang construction. So, nandito siya nakastipulate. Construction summary. So, dito sa construction summary, ano na ba yung mga nagawa at mga kailangan pang gawin? Mga requirements. Detalye dun sa mismong site. Ano yung condition? So, sa concrete. So, per area, nire-report kung ano yung mga meron na at wala pa. So, kagaya dito sa concrete, finish carpentry, carpentry and siding, roof and insulation. So, naka-detail lang siya na ganyan. Like, for instance, sa carpentry, wala pang natatapos sa trabaho, up to the date, the progress report is presented. Yan. So this is the sample of progress report. I will just copy paste again to the material, yung mismong link na ginamit natin as an example. Click tayo dito. So additional sample. Yan. Then proposal. Sa proposal, so, nandito si guidelines. Ano ba ang dapat i-content or i-contain ng inyong proposal? So, sa proposal, sa mga companies, meron din yan. Per department din, ang pag-submit, kung meron kayong mga PPAs, project, program, or activities that you would like to propose sa companies or sa school. So, sa school, gumagawa din tayo ng mga proposal kung if there are activities or projects that we want to events that we want to happen sa mga students o kaya sa department. Nawala. Yan. So sa university, usually the proposal, nag-start siya sa letter. So letter of intent, and then yung background ng project or ng activities, kung merong budget na included or kailangan, kung kailangan magkaroon ng fund, naka-include din dun sa budget kung magkano yung estimated na magagasto, saan manggagaling, nandun din siya. So sa letter, background ng program or activities, and then budgetary requirement, and then wala naman siyang specific template So, nakadepende pa rin sa institution yung magiging template ng inyong proposal as long as nandun yung mga important details. So, have a sample. Tingnan natin tong sample. So, this one is a generic proposal structure. So, ano ba yung content? So, for the introduction, the purpose, subject, main claim of your proposal, current situation, your objectives, the method or the process, ano ba yung mga magaganap na event, ano ba yung mga gagawin, and then the qualifications. For example, your project or activity requires people na magto-talk, for example, or magkakandak ng workshop or seminar or talks in the audience. Siyempre, nakastipulate din doon kung ano yung details ng mga i-invite ninyong personalities or mga magsasalita or magpa-participate doon sa inyong event na pinopropose. Then the cost or the budgets and then the benefits. So ito pa yung ibang details. So I will just include this as a sample. Yan. So we have here 3 samples. School proposal sample. Ito siya. Ito yung sample natin kanina. Yan. So tatlo lang. Ito lang yung nasama. Ito lang yung nasa module natin. Proposal, incident report, progress report, and then the minutes of the meeting. So may mga sample naman. Punta tayo dito sa activity na gagawin ninyo. So this one is your post-assessment. Sa notebook lang din siya sasagutan or any clean sheet of paper. This is 1 to 10. So you just need to identify the following. Ano yung tinutukoy na paper sa bawat number. And then yung number 6, number 7, may mga sample. So, tingnan nyo lang yung sample and then identify that. So, sa paper or sa notebook lang siya as an attachment. Now, final term, first written take-home quiz. Ito naman, gagawin nyo siya individually. So, gagawa kayo ng sarili ninyo. Minutes of the meeting, memo, progress report, incident report, project proposal. So, using Word document, letter size, 1 inch on all sides, compose the following written works under any topic. So, any topic that is aligned to your program. So, gagawa kayo ng sarili nyo. Kailangan naka-align sa program ninyo ha. Yung gagawin ninyong minutes of the meeting, memo, progress report, and then yung incident report, project proposal. Pwede kayong tumingin ng sample and then yung sample na yun gamitin nyo to create your own na nakaangkla sa inyong program. Kahit gawa-gawa lang yung details, okay lang. Ang titignan kasi doon is yung content, how you made your report or your paper. So 5 yan. For the rubric, ito yung rubric natin. So for the minutes of the meeting, dito nyo ma-access yung rubric for memo, incident report, progress report, and proposal report. So kailan siya isa-submit? So hindi naman kailangan ilagay sa folder. You just need to compile your 5 papers. Pwede siya naka-stapler. Lagyan nyo lang siya ng first page, cover page, na nandun yung label ninyo. And then ipapasa siya April 22 to 26. That's after our midterm week. So, ang midterm week natin is 15 to 19. So, after the midterm week, that's April 22 to 26, the first day meeting on this week, depending on your class schedule. So, ito yung submission week ng paper na to. May question kayo regarding this one? Any questions? Wala? So kung walang question, let's proceed sa sample questions. So for your midterm exam, ano yung kailangan? Common sense, reading comprehension, and wide vocabulary or familiarization with terms. So sample questions. Anong tawag dito? You may chat in the chat box your answer. So I'll be flashing the questions one by one. And let's see if you will be able to answer this correctly. So dito muna tayo sa question number 1. These are just similar questions to your midterm exam. Try to answer this one. Which type of communication would be most culturally appropriate and gender fair for conveying emotion, support, and empathy? Type in the chat box your answers. Wala pa nagta-type. Walang sasagot? Type in the chat box your answers. Letter C. Sige, for this one, the correct answer is letter C. So, common sense lang naman ang kailangan nyo dyan kasi you just need to read and comprehend the questions. So, the correct answer is letter C. Next. So, from the term given in the option, informative, persuasive, expressive, instructional. Instructional, syempre, nagtuturo. Informative, inform. Persuasive, nagko-convince. So, ang hinahanap for the question is conveying emotional support. Emotional support. So, you have to express. Ini-express yan eh. 'Di ba? Hindi naman siya itinuturo. Hindi naman din parang nagle-lecture ka or nagbibigay kang information. Hindi ka rin naman kailangan mag-convince. So, common sense lang ang kailangan to answer the questions and the familiarity of the terms. Let's have the next. Mga ganyang type ng tanong ang makikita nyo sa midterm exam nyo. Next one. Which type of communication would be most culturally sensitive and gender fair for discussing diverse perspective and promoting understanding? Look for the keyword. Yan lang naman ang keyword dyan. Discussing diverse perspective and promoting understanding. Perspective. Diverse perspective and promoting understanding. Which among the options is the correct answer? May nag-C, may nag-B. Basahin niyo mabuti ulit. Sige, letter B. May nag-letter A, may nag-letter D. Basahin mabuti. Diverse perspective and promoting understanding. Interpersonal, intercultural, public, or mass. So for you to answer this one, you should be familiar with what is interpersonal. Ano ba yung interpersonal? Ano yung intercultural? Ano ba yung pag sinabing public or mass communication? Ano ba ibig sabihin nun? So even without you reading, masisense nyo naman kung ano ibig sabihin ng mga terms na ginagamit, di ba? So may nag-letter A, interpersonal, letter A, letter B. May nag-letter C din and letter D. Final answer. Pag-isipan nyo mabuti kasi ganyan yung mga questions na lalabas sa exam nyo. Asan na siya? Wait lang. Sige, letter A, letter B. Majority sa inyo, letter B. Letter A. Letter D daw. Basahin mabuti, intindihin ng tanong. Ano ba ang hinahanap? Try not to search kasi hindi naman kayo makakapag-search online pag nag-midterm exam kayo. Face-to-face ang midterm exam natin. So, ang gagamitin nyo lang, common sense and schema or yung background knowledge ninyo dun sa mga terms na may encounter ninyo. O, anong sagot? Ang keyword natin, diverse perspective, promoting understanding. Dalawa lang pamimilian nyo, di ba? It's either A or B kasi hindi na siya public communication or mass communication. Dalawa lang ang pamimilian nyo. It's either A or B, interpersonal or intercultural. Ano bang pinagkaiba ng interpersonal at saka intercultural communication? At ano ba yung hinahanap sa tanong natin? Ang hinahanap sa tanong natin, discussing diverse perspective and promoting understanding. So, ang tamang sagot dyan, reveal na natin, the answer is letter B, intercultural. Letter B ang sagot dito, discussing diverse perspective and promoting understanding. So, ano ba yung pinagkaiba ng interpersonal sa intercultural? Kasi interpersonal, you are also communicating with other people, but you are just sharing, exchanging information. 'Di ba? Nagpapalitan lang kayo ng detalye. But unlike intercultural, when we say intercultural, the main goal of intercultural is to break the differences between cultures. Yung mga pagkakaiba-iba. Ang purpose ng intercultural is for you to understand other culture. Hindi lang basta mag-share ng information, hindi lang basta makikipag-usap sa ibang tao. You have the goal in mind na kaya kayo nagkakaroon ng intercultural communication or kaya kayo nag-uusap is for you to understand differences. Kaya din siya tinawag na intercultural communication. So, hindi po pwede doon yung makitid ang utak or yung close-minded sa intercultural communication. Kasi nga, the main purpose or the main goal of that is for you to understand diverse group of people. Unlike interpersonal communication, wala kayong ganong goal in mind. The only goal sa interpersonal is for you to share information, share common feelings, but you are not to expect other people to understand or to agree with you or to sympathize with you. You cannot expect other people to do that. 'Di ba? Kapag simpleng usapan lang, simpleng pagpapalitan lang ng information, nagkakaiba-iba ng views, kaya nga nagkakaroon ng arguments or debate sa interpersonal communication din. So, yung goal magkaiba. Kaya ang sagot dito is letter B. Intercultural communication. Try natin yung susunod. Next. Ito muna. Paano natin? This one. Which type of communication would be most culturally appropriate and gender fair for sharing personal experiences and building relationships? So the goal of communication here is sharing personal experience and building good relationship. Group communication, interpersonal communication, organizational communication, mediated communication. So from the term itself, makukuha nyo naman kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng type of communication. So aside from the type of communication na share na sa inyo, like yung extempo, sa public communication yun ha, public types of public communication, yung mga extempo, memorize, impromptu speech, types of public communication yon. Ngayon, yung types of communication, marami yan. Depende yung magiging tawag sa type of communication sa purpose of communication. So maraming klase ng communication, iba-iba ang tawag. It depends on the goal or content of communication. So kagaya nito, group communication, interpersonal communication, organizational communication, and mediated communication. So ang sabi, the goal is to share personal experience and build good relationship. So ang pamimilian yung mga term ay ito. Ano kaya sa tingin nyo? So ang sagot, letter B. Yung iba, letter B. So, syempre, pag sinabing organizational communication, ano kaya yan? Ano kayang pinag-uusapan kapag organizational communication? Kapag sinabing mediated communication, syempre may nagmi-mediate. May pumapagitna sa usapan. Kapag ka group communication, Siyempre, grupo. It could be applicable to students talking about their project, group communication. Then yung interpersonal communication na mention na kanina. So which among the four will best fit to the objective of the communication, which is sharing personal experiences and building good relationship? May sumagot letter B, letter C, majority. Ang sagot ay letter B. Majority sa inyo ay letter B. Sige, tingnan natin ang tamang sagot. Sige, when we say, yung interpersonal kanina nabigay na. So, pagka sinabing group communication, example nga nito, yung sa group work. May pag-uusapan kayo, may project kayong kailangan gawin. So, nandyan yung brainstorming, nandyan yung pagpapalitan ng ideas on how you can come up with your group goal. So, kapag ka-organization, pwede din sa department, 'di ba? Ang pinag-uusapan nyo naman dyan, tungkol sa trabaho or tungkol din dun sa gagawin ng organization or ng department ninyo. Kapag ka-mediated, kagaya ng sinabi kanina, merong isang pumapagitna. Pwede siyang person, pwedeng tao yung pumapagitna. So, pwedeng may problems or may issues na kailangang isettle, kagaya sa mga court. Sa mga small, for example, yung mga small claims, merong mga mediators dyan. So, dyan naman pinag-uusapan para masettle yung mga issues or problems. That's one example ng mediated yung sa mga sa court, yung mga small or mga petty cases na ina-arrange lang through a mediator. So, mediated communication. Pwede din naman siyang mediated communication through technology. Ano yung channel of communication na gagamitin? Is it via video call or via letter, via email? So, yung interpersonal kanina na mention na natin, ano ba ang interpersonal communication? Interpersonal communication, pakikipag-usap sa ibang tao to share information, feelings, to know more about different people. 'Di ba? Magkakilala, magpalitan ng information. So ano sa apat na yan, yung pinakagagamitin mo for you to share personal experiences para makipagkwentuhan ka lang and build a good relationship. Yun lang yung main purpose niya, makipagkwentuhan, makipag-share ng experiences for you to build good relationship with other people. Is it group, interpersonal, organizational, or mediated? So nag-iba na yung sagot. May sumugot na ng letter A, may sumugot na ng letter C, but majority still is letter B. So ano final answer nyo dyan? 'Diba? Doon sa mga na-discuss natin, ano ba yung group, organizational, mediated, the most applicable answer there is still letter B, interpersonal communication. Kasi dito sa interpersonal, para ka lang nakikipagkwentuhan, you're sharing information. But kagaya nga ng sinabi ko, the difference between interpersonal and cultural communication, sa interpersonal, yes, you can talk with other people, share information, share feelings, but you cannot expect other people to agree with you all the time or to understand you're being diverse. Kasi pag ganon, ang purpose mo is cultural communication. Kung ang purpose mo is for other people to understand your culture, your beliefs, dun ka sa cultural communication. Kasi as expected na kayo nag-uusap-usap doon para magkaintindihan ng pagkakaiba-iba ninyo. But for interpersonal communication, walang direct outcome. It can be positive, it can be negative. So the main goal is to share information, share feelings, kagaya din ng hinahanap dito sa question, share personal experience, and hope to build good relationship with other people. So interpersonal, unlike ng A, C, and D, meron silang specific goal. Kagaya ng group communication, nakikipag-usap ka sa mga kagrupo mo kasi meron kayong kailangang i-accomplish. Sa organizational communication, ganun din, meron din kayong kailangang i-accomplish towards your organization, company, or department. Meron kayong goal. Sa mediated communication, meron din siyang goal na kagaya ng sa example natin, yung mga may mediation, may mga mediator, may mga pumapagit ng tao because merong mga issues na kailangang isettle. So letter B is the most appropriate answer for this question. So let's see next question. This one. Yan, which type of communication would be most culturally sensitive and gender fair for? Addressing social issues and advocating for change. So yan naman ang goal ng communication. Andiyan na yung sagot sa keyword. Reading comprehension and common sense ang kailangan sa pagsagot ng question sa PORCOM natin. Baka may sumagot pa ng iba. Diba? Wala nang discussion. Advocacy, communication. Kasi nag-advocate kayo. Yun lang. Nandun na din sa keyword natin. So, letter A. Next. Ito. Baba. Ano naman ang hinahanap? Type of communication for delivering formal presentation and conveying factual information. Keyword is factual information. Hanapin nyo agad yung keyword. Formal presentation. Alin sa dalawa? Dalawa lang ang pagpipilian nyo dyan. Yung dalawa, obviously, panggulo lang. Pag sinabi natin public communication, those are the four. Those are the types of communication presented in the last material, yung mga memorized speech, impromptu speech, manuscript, extemporaneous speech. Siyempre, kapag informal could be just a simple conversation or communication between classmates or friends. Kwentuhan lang ang informal communication. So, dalawa lang ang pamimilian. Alin sa dalawa yon? Pag-isipang mabuti. Formal presentation and factual information. Is it letter B or letter C? Dalawa lang naman ang pagpipilian nyo dyan. Pag-isipang mabuti. Letter C ang sagot ng iba. Kanina letter B. Majority is letter B. May sumasagot ngayon letter C. Ano bang pinagkaiba ng professional and educational communication? At ano ba yung hinahanap? Formal presentation and factual information. Saan siya mas nakikita yung formal presentation and factual information? Professional or educational? Kasi pag sinabi nating educational communication, hindi lang naman siya teacher to students communication. 'Di ba? Malawak ang educational communication. Wherein sa professional communication, usually about workplace. 'Di ba? Trabaho ang pinag-uusapan. So sa professional, kasama dyan yung content ng material natin, yung mga minutes, mga memos. Written communication natin is yung mga example natin kanina for professional. Sa classroom or sa educational communication naman, kasama dyan ang mga lectures, kasama dyan yung communication na ginagamit between student teachers, between teachers or instructors sa mga department, planning, nandyan yon. O alin sa dalawa, yung formal presentation and factual information. Actually, pareho naman silang meron yan, di ba? Pareho silang required to have factual information. Dito sa clue na to, pareho silang meron. Ito, both professional and educational should contain factual information. Dito tayo magkakatalo, formal presentation. Sa classroom ba, formal tayo? Palagi bang formal sa classroom? Sa mga meetings, mga department meetings, like for example, faculty meeting, palagi ba kaming formal doon? Ganon ba kami ka-formal doon kapag ka nagmi-meeting kami? Or even in other schools, kahit sa BNHS, ganon ba ka-formal ang setting namin kapag nagmi-meeting kami? Kapag ka may ginagawa kaming, di ba, department meeting, student teachers, faculty to faculty, kahit sa mga schools divisions. Oh, ganon ba kami ka-formal? Di ba hindi? So ito, sa question na to, professional, kaya nga professional. It should always be in a formal presentation or formal yung pag-uusap ninyo. Hindi pwedeng parang nagkukwentuhan lang kayo. Unlike sa educational, though factual information, pero hindi siya ganun ka-formal yung settings niya, hindi ganun ka-formal. Usually, example din dito is yung mga business meetings. 'Di ba? Sa mga business meetings. Ang settings nito palagi ay formal. Sa educational kasi hindi naman. Hindi siya ganun ka-formal kasi kasama nga dito sa educational communications, yung mga lectures, classroom communication between teacher-students, between students, faculty to faculty or department, at hindi siya ganun ka-formal. Meron lang mga specific event na kailangan talagang formal but not always. Unlike kapag ka-professional, pag sinabing professional meeting, business meeting, naka-formal talaga kayo doon. So the answer in this question is letter B. Next. This one. This one. Which type of communication would be most culturally sensitive? Ano naman ang purpose? Facilitating group discussion and collaborative problem solving. Group discussion, collaborative problem solving, ang keyword. Mediated, interactive, technological, informative. Ayun ang keyword. Facilitating group discussion. Okay, may sasagot pa ng iba? So, mediated, interactive, technological, informative. So, yung technological communication, it can mean two things. By using technology in your communication or by talking about technology, gadget, or yung mga makabagong teknolohiya yung pag-uusapan or gagamitin sa communication. That's why it's technological communication. Informative, syempre nagbibigay ng information ang goal. Kapag mediated, merong pumapagitna. It's either tao or tool or instrument to communicate. Kasi merong kailangan pag-usapan. So, alin sa dalawa lang ang pagpipilian? Mediated or interactive? Dalawa ang keywords nyo. Sige, yung collaborative problem solving, possible siya sa dalawa. Facilitating group discussions and collaborative problem solving yung inyong keyword. So, tingnan natin. Sa mediated communication, you are solving or communicating something. You are solving something na merong mediator, merong pumapagitna, either tao or gadget, para magkaroon ng communication. So, pwede siya sa facilitating group discussion, di ba? Yung mediated. Then, collaborative problem solving. So, pwede din sa mediated communication kasi yung problem solving. Etong interactive communication, ano ba pag sinabi nating interactive communication? Ano ba yung goal? Ano ba yung nangyayari? Tingnan niyo yung example ulit dito sa ano ha, to differentiate mediated from interactive. 'Di ba sabi parehong facilitating group discussion, nagsusolve din naman ng problem yung mediated communication. But the term here is a collaborative. Collaborative. Ang example niyan, ang pinagagamitan niyan usually yung sa mga court nga na na-mention natin kanina. Sa court ba, 'di ba may mediator? Yung mga petty issues, petty cases na hindi na pinaparating sa Supreme Court or sa mismong court, yung hindi na pinaparating sa korte kagaya ng mga small claims. Yung mga small claims dumadaan lang yan sa mediation. Yung may mga utang, kalimitan na kaso sa mga petty mediations ay yung may mga utang. Collaborative problem solving, tama naman, kasi doon kayo mag-uusap paano ma-solve yung problem. And then facilitating group discussion din naman siya. So it's either A or letter B lang ang pagpipilian. Puntahan naman natin tong interactive communication. Ano ba yung interactive communication? Siyempre, pag interactive communication, lahat kayo, pareho kayo ng goal. 'Di ba? Interactive siya. It could be 2 or more person. So, pag sinabi nating interactive, 2 or more person din ang nag-uusap, nagpapalitan din kayo ng information, nagpapalitan kayo ng mga views, nakikipag-interact kayo sa isa't isa. Pwedeng gusto nyo lang mag-share ng information, pwede din naman na collaborative work yan, pwedeng meron kayong goal na kailangan yung isolve. Pero ang tanong, meron bang sinabi sa keyword na may facilitator? Facilitating group discussion, collaborative problem solving. So letter, anong sagot? May nagbago na ng sagot. Letter B, letter A. So punta tayo sa letter A. Interactive, grupo kayo mag-uusap. So kung titingnan natin yung meaning ng mediated and interactive based on the keyword facilitating group discussion and collaborative problem solving, mas pumapasok yung discussion niya or yung purpose niya sa letter A. Letter A. So ang mga sumagot, may mga nagbago last part, letter B, pero majority sa inyo letter B yung sagot. 1052 ato A. Una A. Hindi, majority letter A. Majority sa inyo letter A ang sagot sa chat box. So that's one. Lagi kayong babalik dun sa keyword. Pag nag-analyze ng options and questions, balikan si keyword. Ask yourself kung iyon ba. Depende dun sa hinahanap. So yan na yung last questions pala. So mga ganyan yung tanungan sa midterm exam. So let me share. I'll send this updated copy ng Word file na ginamit natin sa group chat para nandun yung kopya. nitong mga sample questions. So let me share to you now the TOS. And yung TOS lang pala. Wait lang. Check ko muna yung midterm exam. Baka meron pa. Baka meron pa tayong pwedeng isample. Dali. Mga situational mostly ang tanong. Sige, kukuha pa ako ng isa. Wait lang. Mhm. Dali, ay scan ko yung exam nyo. Ito sample, isa pa. Dali. Mhm. Number, wait lang. Itong tanong na to, anong sagot nyo dito? Wait. Kinlose ko na ba? Saan na siya? Ito. Wait lang, nawala. Wala. Share ko ulit, nawala eh. Ito, sa question na to, last sample na to. This one. I'll try to answer this. When evaluating a multimodal text, what aspects should you consider to determine its cultural sensitivity and relevance? So you are looking for, when evaluating multimodal text, anong aspect daw ang kailangan tignan to determine cultural sensitivity and relevance? Options are, naliliitan nga natin, masyadong malaki. Yan. What's your answer? Last na yan. Letter B. Letter A. Pag-isipang mabuti kung ano hinahanap. Letter B, letter C. Mag-cross out muna kayo ng hindi sagot. So, maiwan kayo sa dalawang options lang. And then, go back to the purpose to determine its cultural sensitivity and relevance. Culture sensitive ba siya? And relevant ba? So, ano yung kailangan para maging ganon yung multimodal text? Ano yung kailangan tignan na aspect? Majority ng sagot, wait. Hati sa B, C, A. Ano talagang sagot? Hati pa sa tatlong option yung sagot nyo. Letter B, letter A, letter C. Pag-isipan mo ng mabuti. May nasasalit pa din. O yan. Majority of the answers now is letter C. So let's slash off two incorrect answers. So the use of humor and entertainment value. Ano makinalaman ng humor and entertainment value dun sa hinahanap na dapat i-culture sensitive yan. So hindi na ito agad yung sagot. The complexity and sophistication of the language. Wala din kinalaman ang language sa representation ng pagiging cultural sensitive. Yung language ang tinitignan, sophisticated ba or complicated ba? Highfalutin words ba yung ginamit? So wala naman siya kinalaman sa culture. So naiwan is letter B and letter C. The inclusion of multimedia elements from different culture, which is correct, 'di ba? Dapat meron. But the problem is, culture sensitive ba and relevant ba? Baka naman basta makapagpasok lang ng elements from different cultures yung ginawa. So, definitely, hindi pa rin ito yung sagot. 'Di ba? Hindi lang dapat basta-basta makapagpasok ng tungkol sa culture doon sa multimedia na gagamitin ninyo. Hindi lang dapat basta masabi lang na merong culture doon or different or variation in culture doon sa presentation ninyo is okay na. So you have to check for the accuracy and authenticity of cultural representation. Dapat tama yung nandun na detalye about the culture. 'Di ba? Para matawag siyang relevant kasi factual siya, accurate siya, or tama. And by doing that, you will also becoming culture sensitive kasi hindi mo madidisrespect ano man yung culture element na ipinasok mo dun sa multimedia mo kasi alam mong tama yon or factual siya. So the answer to this question is letter C. Hindi lang basta-basta mag-i-include ng about culture. Kailangan factual, accurate, and authentic para hindi rin madisrespect yung culture na ini-include mo dun sa multimedia mo. So, letter C yung sagot dito, the accuracy and authenticity of cultural representations. So, mga ganyang klase ng tanong yung makikita nyo sa exam. And we have multiple choice questions, item 1 to 26. So, 26 item is multiple choice. Tapos, 26. Yeah, 26. And then, 27 to 50, that is writing. Writing ang 27 to 50. So that is half of your exam. So kung ano yung isusulat nyo, meron naman na kayo naging practice nito, i-elevate nyo lang. So same, meron din siyang mechanics, meron din siyang context, meron siyang duration, length, required length, that is 200 to 300 words. So you may exceed 300 words. So kung ano man yung topic, malalaman nyo during the exam. But definitely, you've had your practice writing this one. Half of your exam is writing. Half of your exam is reading comprehension and humor or sense of humor. Diba? Common sense. Doon sa tanong. Sa pag-interpret and pag-analyze ng questions and options sa multiple choice. So yun lang yung kailangan nyo, yung writing skills, common sense, and yung reading comprehension skills ninyo for you to answer the midterm exams. So for the TOS, present ko lang sa inyo yung TOS for the topics or the scope. Saan na siya? TOS. This one. Yan, ang TOS natin. So, from week 1 to 8, yung mga topic na na-discuss. So, we have here 8 items, 6, and then this one, 24 items for your writing, the last two, from week 5 to 8. Pero na-practice nyo naman yan. Any more questions? May question pa? Any more questions? Meron pa ba? So wala na. So kindly refer to your individual class calendar and activity. Nasa comment section naman siya doon sa Facebook group post. So kung wala nang question, kindly turn on your cameras po for the photo of as attachment. Pa-turn on po ng camera and then stop sharing ko na rin to. Sa palangan nag-on, dalawa, Cindy Mendoza, Jmar, John Ong. Yan. Okay, one. Isa pa. Dali. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you for attending this session. So maki-review na lang. Return tayo. Next week. You may leave the virtual room po.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Joseph Manalason.
Thank you po, ma'am.